What's going on, Canes fam? I hope you guys are having a good Saturday so far. Appreciate you guys taking time out of your Saturday night. I know all you youngins are partying right now, but taking time out of your day to hang out, talk about Miami Hurricanes football. I'm just setting up a couple of things on OBS here right quick. So how y'all doing tonight? How's my Canes family feeling? What's going on, Jason, Matthew, Shane, DJ? We got the regulars in the chat. Buddy, what's going on, guys? Russell's in the building. Jeremy. So we're going to kick off and actually discuss some of the stats from the scrimmage today. I understand that it was closed to the media and the public, but you know, there's some stuff that gets put out there a little bit. So we're going to talk about it, look at how the quarterbacks performed in the scrimmage today, see how that went. We're going to talk a little bit about injuries currently right now, the players that are dealing with that. And then also just talk about keynotes from the scrimmage. And again, just kind of discuss the QB battle, who's looking the best, who really seems like they're coming out on top. We'll wait for a few more people to file in, and then we'll kind of get started on that. It was a beautiful day in East Tennessee today. Many of you know that follow me on my social media stuff on Instagram and Twitter. We took the dog out for a walk today. It was a nice day today. Yeah, Miami Hurricanes baseball is looking pretty good. They had a big game against FSU the other night, and apparently they are winning right now as well. So it's always a good day when FSU loses in any sport, I gotta say. Yeah, Russell knows. It was a beautiful day in Maryville, wasn't it, Russell? All right, so let's go ahead and kick it off. Let's go ahead and start this stream. What's going on, nephew Jeff? What's going on, man? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about injury report right now. This is not injury report from the day to day. I think overall the scrimmage was mostly injury free, which is good to hear. But overall, just injuries with the team in general. So first off, the biggest one that is bad news is Wayman Steed, the linebacker. There's no timetable for when he will be able to return. He's actually going to have surgery on his left knee. Supposedly, it's potentially a torn ACL. That's not been confirmed yet. But that's really sad news for Steed because if it is a torn ACL, there's a good possibility that he may not even see play time this season at all. But he will be treated at the University of Miami, the medical center. So, of course, he's going to be in good hands. So that's good to hear. I'm sure they'll give him the best rehab possible. But that is sad for him. That's really sad for him. What's going on, Demetrius? What's going on, Brandon? Yeah, long time no see, man. Fiddler on the Roof, Coop. I was wondering if you guys were curious if I might be streaming on the roof, because that's something that's going to happen one day soon. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm trying to overcome my fear of heights. Hanging out on the roof here and there. I'm sure you guys do that, right? That's normal. So we might stream from the roof. We got Jay in the house. How's it going, Jay? Just going over the injury report for the team. So, of course, again, Steed, prayers up. If I can get some prayer emojis in the chat for Steed, that he has a successful surgery and a speedy recovery, gets back on the field. Moving on from that, Brevin Jordan is still dealing with his knee injury. So as far as I know, he did not participate in scrimmage number 1 today. Also, safety Amari Carter is dealing with a foot injury. As far as I know as well with him, he did not participate in the scrimmage today. And Robert Knowles, defensive back, seems to be 100% now. He was dealing with some hip issues, if I remember correctly, from early on in spring practice. But as far as I know, he is 100% now. So that's really about it as far as big injuries that have a big impact on the team. Of course, it's football, so you're always dealing with little sprains and things here and there. But things that are a big deal would be Steed, Jordan, Carter, and Knowles for those guys. Isn't Steed the one that keeps getting injured ever since he's been here? Yeah, Kyle. Unfortunately, Steed has been dealing with some very serious issues with injuries. He really doesn't get to see the field that often, but a lot of times it comes down to injuries with him. And I do appreciate the prayer emojis in the chat for Steve. Whether he sees a lot of playing time or not, we can't deny the fact that he's a family member. He's a Miami Hurricane. So we want all the players to be at their best health, and we wish them success in all aspects of life. So moving on from that, hey, Larry Butler, welcome to the college football family, to the Miami Hurricanes family. Appreciate that sub, my man. Welcome. So let's just go ahead and what's going on, David? You made it. You made it, David. So let's talk a little bit about first keynotes from the scrimmage today, from scrimmage number 1. We'll also cover some stats here in just a minute. Don't worry, we're going to pull that up. We'll look at the individual stats. We'll break it down, talk about each position, and all that good stuff. But let's just talk about a couple of keynotes. So keynotes today, the biggest positive from, I'm just quoting Manny Diaz, some stuff that Manny Diaz said from today. Biggest positive from the scrimmage today is that all of the players on both sides of the ball played hard and put forth a lot of effort. The offense didn't look too good the first half, but in the second half they kind of picked up momentum. Things started to click a little bit more, seemed to make a little bit more sense for everybody, and they scored 2 touchdowns late on the defense. So that looks good for the offense. Defense overall was savage, as expected, as we expect to happen. The defense is playing pretty well, pretty high caliber. Some cons and negatives from the scrimmage today, and there's going to be a lot of them. You have to understand that there's going to be
this is what it take
of cons and negatives right now.
To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Bobby Brewer coming through with a $2 donation. Thank you for that dono, my friend. Doesn't even leave a message, but thank you for supporting the stream, Bobby. I appreciate that. Some big ones. Manny Diaz was not happy with execution, mostly on the offensive side of the ball. But again, it's to be expected. New system being implemented, first scrimmage, it's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of times that deer in the headlights where you practice this and you practice this and you practice this, but when you get put in the position of actual live full speed, live full contact, there's a clock going potentially. It kind of creates a different environment. So execution was not up to par for Manny Diaz. Again, though, to be expected. He also said that the heat seemed to really take a toll. And that's something that we're known for, practicing in the South Florida heat. But all the practices have been held in the indoor practice facility for the most part, especially for spring. Now, I don't think that's a big worry for us. We're going to get back to outdoors now that they have the sod laid and everything. But he did say that the heat was a factor, that it did start to take a toll on them on the second half of the scrimmage. Are we accepting calls today? Absolutely, Brandon. We will be taking phone calls here in just a bit. Hopefully the stream looks good to you guys. I finally believe that we have the internet fixed. We've got the camera fixed. We've got the software fixed. I'm out of YouTube jail 100% like we said earlier. So everything should be back to 100% normal. There shouldn't be any more hiccups or anything, so I can focus on bringing you guys the best content possible. I've been held back a little bit over the last few months, but that's over now. Don't worry. What's going on, Nick? Yeah, the field outside was being worked on. They were laying sod, which I believe is done. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody in the chat, if you guys know more than I do. But as far as I know, they are done with that. Eric says, Coop, watch you every day up here in Canada. Love you, man, for all the Canes info. Appreciate that, Eric. You're a family member, man, all the way up in Canada. That's crazy. I tell everybody that Canes fans are all around the world, and people kind of chuckle when I say that because they think, well, yeah, maybe they're in Florida, and maybe there's a few in Georgia. No, Miami Hurricanes fans are literally all around the world. You're in Canada, Eric. I know people that are in Africa. I know people that are in Italy. Literally, they're everywhere. Yes, I am accepting calls here in just a little bit. We'll open up the phone line. Yeah, the heat got to him. That's something that Manny Diaz said. The heat was a factor in the scrimmage today. So let's talk about stats for the scrimmage. I know. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about the stats a little bit. From Hawaii, the 808. Dang, man. What's up, Lenore's 2003? I appreciate you stopping in, man. New person to the chat. I'm glad you got to catch a live stream, man. We try to have a lot of fun. What kind of chain is that? This chain, I'm trying to remember to wear it all the time. I try to not take it off, but I don't normally wear it in the streams and things. Sometimes because I'm weird about people asking because it brings up stuff, you know. This is actually a fingerprint. I don't know if you guys can see it. It probably won't focus on it. No, it's not going to focus. This is the fingerprint of my daughter who passed away. And it's on a little pendant, so I can always wear it around my neck forever. So that's what it is, Swag Money. So let's move on. Let's go through. Buddy says he's on the space station. Let's pull up stats from the scrimmage today, because I know that's what we want to talk about. That's what we want to see. Now, I want you guys to keep something in mind with the stats for the scrimmage. And this seriously, this is really important. They didn't release a whole lot of details from the scrimmage today, so I don't know if these stats... Okay, I'm trying to think of a way to explain this. You guys will know what I'm saying. Sometimes scrimmages aren't exactly game scenarios. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if these stats are just from maybe the offense did first and long scenarios, third and short scenarios, if it was just actually start the ball at the 25-yard line, try to march down the field. I don't know how that was put in place for this first scrimmage. So keep that in mind when viewing these stats. I don't know how that was set up, and that is a big deal. That's a big factor. So what I'm going to do is actually pull up Josh White. He is a media person that works with Miami a lot, so credit goes to him for these stats. You'll see here his Twitter account when we switch over here. So let's take a look at that. I'm actually going to turn my cam off. We're going to switch over. All right. So I wanted to show this breakdown that Josh White has on Twitter. That way it gives you guys a visual, something to actually look at while we discuss it. Because a lot of times I just spew numbers out of my mouth constantly, and it gives you a visual. So the big one, of course, the one everyone wants to look at, and feel free to bring up anything you guys notice in the chat, because anything you guys want to talk about, we'll talk about it. Quarterbacks on the day for scrimmage number 1. N'Kosi Perry, 5 for 7, 126 yards with 2 touchdowns. It's pretty darn impressive. Tate Martell, 6 for 11, 1 touchdown. For some reason, they chose to not list the yards that he accumulated in his passes. I don't really know why, to be honest with you. I don't have an answer for that. Eric Posada comes in, dropping 305, my man. Hey, I appreciate that donation. I see what you did there. I like it, man. Thank you for the support, bro. All the way up in Canada. That's crazy, man. But, yeah, for some reason, they did not list the yards for Tate Martell. Jaron Williams, 53 yards. Doesn't really even specify if those are all passing yards, if he had any rushing yards. I'm assuming that's passing yards. No other information. So I'm not really sure what the deal is, if they're trying to just kind of keep that under wraps for now, because obviously it's a very highly debated subject, or maybe someone didn't keep track of it and they didn't want to report
this is what
it.
takes
I don't know for sure on that.
To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Beat FSU baseball, kick Gator's butt. Let's go.
DJ coming through with $1.99.
To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
God bless the Angel Cane. Ty Coop for all your work.
DJ, thank you for the $1.99, and Buddy Woodward, thank you for that massive $10 donation, my man. Appreciate the support on the channel, guys. Thank you for that. If you're not on the board behind me, I'll get you up there. Appreciate that, guys. But yeah, with the quarterbacks, it looks like overall N'Kosi Perry led. He had the better day between all the quarterbacks. But again, kind of a little vague on the exact details on the stats. Hey, appreciate that, Brandon. Appreciate you stopping by, man. What's going on, CJ? So moving on, let's move on down a little bit. You can see the comment right here. People weren't really impressed with Jaren's stats, apparently. But again, we don't know the circumstances here. You know what I'm saying? We don't know exactly what situation they were put in. And yeah, Jay says Josh has great content. He has great content, exactly. So that's for the offense on the first scrimmage. Cameron Harris impressed. 5 attempts, 32 yards. DJ Dallas had 38 yards. They did not specify the amount of carries it took for him to get the 38 yards. Will Mallory, probably the biggest impact on offense. 4 receptions for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. Will Mallory is expected, at least for now, to kind of fill the shoes of Brevin Jordan, and he's doing a darn good job at it. 4 receptions, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns in that first scrimmage. Brian Hightower stepping up a little bit for the wide receivers, 3 receptions, 22 yards. Mark Pope had a 52-yard touchdown reception. Pretty big throw there to him. I don't know who threw that to him. And Evidence Njoku also had a 51-yard reception. So a couple of big passes in there. So that could be good to hear for the offense. What's going on inside the Canes? Yeah, Kyle says, well, at least looks like the receivers caught passes. That's huge. And we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about the wide receivers and a lot of these drop passes that we've been getting in practices in spring so far. So let's look at defensive stats a little bit. Again, these are just touching on the big ones. Man, look at this top one. Look at Greg Rousseau. Look at this stat, chat. 4 sacks on the day in the first scrimmage. And let me tell you, is the D-line that good, or is the offense still struggling that much? You see what I'm saying here? That's going to be, man. Now, Greg Rousseau is a beast. Now, let's continue on down. Don't forget, though, let's continue on down. Nasty Nesta Silvera, 6 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. Very impressive. Very impressive. Harvey, 5 tackles, 2 sacks. Huge play coming from the defensive line in this first scrimmage. I'm really impressed with the stats there for these guys. Again, that's why we said one of the highlights from the day is that the D-line played savage, and you're darn right they did with stats like this in the first scrimmage. The O-line is going to be having to put in work all season long to keep up with these guys. Big time. Couple of other big notes. Trajan Bandy, 2 pass breakups. Gervin Hall, 4 tackles, and Al Blades Jr., 2 tackles and 1 pass breakup. Now, again, guys, you have to keep in mind, I'll leave these stats up for a few more minutes. That way you guys can see them. If you want to see them and actually take a deeper look at them, make sure you follow Josh R. White on Twitter. He posts a ton of Miami stuff. Actually works with him in some sort of way. I don't know all the details. But the big thing to remember from the day, again, you have to keep in mind that I don't know exactly what situation they were put in. I don't know if there was a play clock. I don't know if it was start at the 25-yard line and go, kind of like we just said. I don't really know all those details, and they're a little vague on the QB stats. And I don't know if that's on purpose or not. I really don't know. You guys can tell me what you think. But speaking of the QBs, we'll dive into that a little bit. Let's talk about the QB battle a little bit here. The reason why I want... Oh, I'm not there. Here we go. All right, there we go. The QB battle still just is a very interesting scenario because... tell me this. I want to know what you guys want to have to say about this. Are you guys tired of talking about this QB battle? I want to know. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. I want to see your response. Are you guys tired of talking about the QB battle? I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm not. I could talk about it every single day. We could stream every day and I could talk about it. But some people were saying, shut up, Coop. Stop talking about the QBs. The best guy's going to win. I know the best guy's going to win. I know. Manny Diaz is going to take care of business. And he's going to pick the guy, him and Enos are going to pick the guy that puts us in the best position to win games. But Some people are saying they're tired of talking about QBs all the time. I'm not. We finally have a good problem to deal with, and that's what we're dealing with at the quarterback position. And that's why it gets discussed by so many people online and on these different platforms, is because it's a big problem, and it's a good big problem that we have right now. What's going on, Brandon? But what I wanted to discuss about the quarterbacks is the fact that, number one, the quarterback battle is still up in the air. It's still anybody's position to take. I can promise you, absolutely promise you, that Enos, Manny Diaz, anybody on the staff does not have anybody in mind yet. I'm sorry, I'm not a mind reader. But they don't have anybody in mind yet. It's still an open position because we're only a couple of weeks into spring practice. And you have to remember that each of these QBs bring their own unique skill set to the table. And we have to let it play out a little bit and see who really can be a leader on this offense and take control and really just soak in this new system from Dan Enos and run with it. So it's still an open battle. But what I want to talk about, and you guys know that I have the same opinion. I'll tell you my opinion real quick. I'll give you a rundown in case you're new here. I don't play favorites. I don't have a favorite when it comes to, we're going to talk about the big three, the big three. Perry, Martell, and Williams. David's going to run me through the ringer for not bringing up Proctor, and Matoko will be here later. But the big three, Perry, Martell, Williams, I don't play favorites. I want whoever puts us in the best position to win games to get that starting job. And somebody's going to step up. There's going to be a difference here, and we're going to see. And that guy's going to be that vocal leader that's going to step up, and we're going to say, that's our guy. That's the guy that could actually lead this team to a national championship again. Who it's going to be, I don't know. But we're going to find out. But what I want to talk about is the fact that Tate Martell received, it's 50-50. Miami fans either loved Tate Martell and that they were so happy about him coming in. They were ecstatic about him getting approved for his waiver. And there's the other side of Miami fans that just hate him. And they say, this guy ran from competition. He's coming into Miami thinking he's hot stuff and he's going to be handed the starting job. So what I want to talk about is the fact that you can't judge these quarterbacks by 2 weeks of spring practice. There were people judging more so Tate Martell than any of the other quarterbacks. After day one of spring practice, a new offensive coordinator, a new quarterbacks coach, an entirely new offensive scheme, and you're judging the quarterbacks on day one of spring practice, that's just not right. You're not going to be able to tell anything about these guys after day one. So what I wanted to get at is the fact that now reports are coming out that Tate Martell is definitely improving and he's starting to settle in a lot. And his throws are a lot more on point. His accuracy's gotten a lot better because people ripped him up and down after the first couple of days of spring practice. Every report came out saying Tate Martell is at the bottom. Honestly, probably lower than Proctor. And Jaron Williams is high above everyone else. Now look, N'Kosi Perry's stats make it look like he's number one. Martell 2, Williams 3. So we have to give this more time. Now, it's still fun to speculate. What's going on, Dan? Hey, Miss K. I appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, Miss K says, we need the best man for the QB job. We can't lose with any of the three of them. They are all talented. Exactly, Miss K. They all bring their own unique skill set to the table. And it's going to be hard. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I'm glad that I'm not the one choosing who starts. Because each of these guys make an argument, a valid argument, and give some pretty good points and pros as to why they could start against the Gators. But we're not going to know for a while. What's going on, Nathan? Keep us all on track. Keep up the good work, bro. All about you. Appreciate that, Nathan. Appreciate the kind words, man. What's going on, Charlie? See, no, y'all hyped Tate up. Well, see, Wilbur, the thing is anytime a new player comes in, and I'm just going to be honest with you, a highly ranked player, a 4 or 5 star, especially at the QB position, he's gonna come in with a lot of hype. Tate Martell, his name carries a lot of hype. So when he comes in, it's like being the new kid at school. When you come in, you transfer, you're the new kid at school. Everybody wants to be your friend. Everybody's like, hey, did you see that new kid at school? I heard he's this or he's that. He was the new kid in town. And he brought in a lot of hype. So, of course, people are going to talk about him a lot. But at the end of the day, that hype doesn't mean anything if he doesn't perform on the field. And I can guarantee you that hype means nothing to Enos. I can guarantee you that hype means nothing to Manny Diaz. Unless you are putting up solid numbers and performing on the field, Manny Diaz and Enos don't care. I can promise you that. And that's why we don't have to worry about it as fans. As long as we have competent coaching in place, they'll do what's right and they'll make the right decision. They see these guys day in and day out, every snap that they're taking on the field in these practices. We get highlights and things like that. And, of course, I love discussing it and talking about it. But we have to trust that they're going to make the right decision. David says he was the Gatorade Player of the Year and never lost in high school. Yeah, I mean, again, his name carries a lot of hype, and in my opinion, rightfully so. But I'm not saying I'm pulling for him. I'm not saying that. I want all of these guys to succeed. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on, Ben. I'll start ranting here. So, question: do you think we'll run some nickel dime more often due to lack of depth at linebacker, especially with Steed having surgery now? It's very possible, Corey. We're going to have to be very careful in that area. But time will tell as we get into more summer and fall stuff. We'll see, because you also have to keep in mind that we have some guys that still are not on campus yet. So we've got some more players coming in at several different positions, and these guys weren't here for the spring. So we have to keep that in mind. Sean Kelsey says, I'm with the guy who wins games. Exactly. So that's kind of all I had to cover with stats, talking about the QB battle a little bit, injury report, keynotes from the first scrimmage. So we can open up the phone call or the phone line if you guys want. We're about 30 minutes in. Coop, you may have already covered this, but what was the DB situation like with the spring game? Sean, I don't have a whole lot of information on that. We talked about these stats right here. We got some Gator fans in the chat. You guys got to rep your squad. You got to rep your team. I'll switch over here real quick and show you, Sean, if you didn't see it already. These were the full stats. These were the defensive stats that they released. There's not a whole lot of information from the defensive backs. I just know Trajan Bandy had some pass breakups. Al Blaze Jr. had some tackles and some pass breakups. But they were kind of vague with this first one. They were really vague with the stats from the first scrimmage. And they're going to be, because it wasn't open to the public or the media. So it kind of just is what it is. We're getting just a little handful, just some teaser stats a little bit. And that's just kind of how it goes when you have a scrimmage that's not open to the public or the media. Somebody says, I just love Tate's swagger, but I feel better about the coaches making the decision on the QB than last year. Exactly. When is Lingard coming back before the spring game? Lingard probably will not participate in the spring game, Eric. He had that knee surgery about 6 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. So it's probably better to hold him back for now. And kind of baby that knee a little bit just in case, just as a precaution. But right after spring, it should be getting close for him to kind of start hitting the ground running and kind of participating. Is Bubba Bolden going to play in the spring? Bubba Bolden, as far as I know, will not be here for the spring. Not yet. He's finishing up some things. He'll be here in the summer, if I'm not mistaken. And same with Louis Headley. A lot of people are asking about special teams. Where are all the special teams numbers? Some of the new special teams guys are not on campus yet. Louis Headley is not on campus yet, as far as I know, and a couple of others. And then people asking about Bubba Bolden. Exactly. Jason Coop heard Bubba Bolden is on campus. Will he begin practicing immediately? I've heard conflicting things on that, Jason. Either way, I still think Bubba Bolden's not here for any of the spring games, at least not participating, as far as I know. Are you sure you'll beat my Florida Gators? I'm pretty sure we're going to take care of business, man, but you know, there'll be plenty of trash talk videos coming for that. Don't worry, man. What was my thought on the running back that I like? I like the 1-2 punch with Cameron Harris and Lingard. Honestly, probably Lingard with the bulk of the carries. And I understand some people are going to be shocked with me saying that because we've not seen a ton from Lingard. But the snippets that we have seen, guys, listen. Lingard has, I'll continue to say it. I'll keep saying it. Lingard has Olympic type speed. So if you do a 1-2 punch with Lingard with the speed and then Cameron Harris with the consistency that he has and the amount of speed, honestly, even that he has and the toughness, Lingard, Harris, Dallas. That right there, that in that order, I think that's the best thing we could do. Got a hater, I see. Okay, so let me get the phone line open up. We can talk about this first scrimmage. Any questions that you guys might have about it, anything that we didn't talk about. Again, if anybody missed it at the beginning, we did a quick injury report breakdown on the players. We did keynotes from scrimmage number 1. We covered stats from the scrimmage, and we talked about the QB battle a little bit. DJ Dallas is interesting to me because DJ Dallas has a lot of heart. If you guys remember, not last season but the season before, DJ Dallas was listed on the depth chart as an athlete. He was not actually even assigned a specific position. They kind of weren't sure if they just wanted to use him in the Wildcat, if he was a running back, if he just participated on special teams. People really didn't know where DJ Dallas fit in at. And at one point, I'm pretty sure DJ Dallas even played quarterback in high school at some point, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But he's an okay running back. I'm not going to lie, he definitely has a lot of heart, and he leaves it all on the field for the U. And that I love that. Is he as good of a back as Cameron Harris or Lingard? I don't think so. I don't think so, but he will get plenty of reps this season. I think so. And you guys, feel free. Any Gator fans, what's going on, J-Mo? Any Gator fans that are in the chat, you're more than welcome to talk trash. And Miami fans, you're more than welcome to address it. I'm not going to ban you for trash talk in this chat. Trash talk is a part of college football. Now, I don't put up with racism or things getting real bad, but you can talk trash, definitely. Definitely. What's going on, Jason? What's going on? And Miami fans, feel free to address a couple of Gator fans in here. Feel free. So let me get the phone lines opened up. Maybe somebody wants to call in. And we can talk. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, Revly. That's what I'm thinking. The number 1 back will be a battle between Cameron Harris and Lorenzo Lingard, with DJ Dallas giving them not necessarily breathers, I guess. I think he'll be used more often than that, but he'll be the number 3 back in my opinion. I could be wrong on that. That's just my guess. What's going on, Greg? He says better late than never. Greg, you know I'm always fashionably late. Any stats on the QB? We did discuss stats. J-Mo, we did. I can show them again for anybody who's wanting to see them. I'll show them here in just a moment. Hold up. I got to let this donation come through. We are about to open the phone line. I got to let this donation come through. KS Ox. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, bro.
This is what it takes
Let me know so I can pronounce it
to wear
correctly.
the U on the side of your helmet.
Go Gators, baby. WHOHOOO.
I gotta say, first donation I think I have received from a Gator fan. Appreciate that $1.99, bro. It read his message aloud. I'm not gonna repeat it out loud so someone can clip it and make it sound like that's what I'm saying. K-Sauce. Okay, K-Sauce, got you. Appreciate that $1.99, bro. Like I said, you gotta rep your team, man. You gotta rep your team, bro. Like I said, we're gonna return the trash talk, but you seem like the kind of person that can take it, so. But appreciate that support, man. I do. Okay. So let's get this phone line open up. It'll be just a few more seconds, guys, and we'll get it opened up. So there are a few Gator fans lurking. Yeah, there are a few Gator fans
This is
lurking.
what it take to wear the U
K-Sauce
on the
with
side
another
of your helmet.
$1.99. Gator fans stepping up big tonight. Thank you for that, my man. Thank you for that, bro. Oh, man. Most Gator fans kind of just lurk and hide in the shadows and watch the stream, but they don't say anything. So props to you, bro. Hold on just a second, guys.
This is what it take to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Florida fans will talk about what other teams have done to the Canes, but what are their records vs the Canes? Nothing. Go Canes.
NMD TV. My man, we got NMD TV in the building. Thank you for that $4.99, bro. I appreciate that. I've been loving the videos that you've been putting out, man. I tried to catch your stream earlier today, but I was dealing with some stuff, getting some things set up. So check out NMD TV if you guys haven't already. Just type NMD TV into YouTube. It'll come up. Dude's putting out videos left and right, man. There's no way I could keep up with the amount of videos that he's putting out. So appreciate that support, NMD. So let's see. Let me get the phone line opened up. Just a few more seconds, guys. I'm just laughing at all the Gator talk. I'm laughing at I love the Gator talk. Man, you guys are going to get me pumped up. You're going to get me pumped up.
To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
I don't know why it's not reading your message.
This is what it takes
K-Sauce.
to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Sorry, my typing sucks. I'm drinking margaritas.
NMD TV celebrating a Saturday night. Don't blame you for that, my brother. $1.99. Thank you for that. And K-Sauce coming in with a $4.99. Thank you, K-Sauce. He says the Florida Gators are an overall better team than Miami. I feel like that's up for debate in this chat, K-Sauce, but I appreciate that $4.99. What's up, J.A. Kane? What's going on, man? All right, let me get the phone line open up. Eric is going to make the trip. You're going to make the trip down? Eric, that's crazy, man. That's a long trip. That's a true Kane right there, Eric, man. True Kane. I love the Gators showing up. I'm telling you, I'm going to claps. Claps, man. All right, so the phone line should be open now. Should be open. What's up, Everything Productions? Hey, listen, though. Canes fam, you got to be honest. Be honest for just a second. You got to give a little bit of respect to K-Sauce for showing up in a Miami Hurricane stream, donating, and actually typing messages in the chat. You got to give him props for that. I got to say. For real. Most of the ones I've met so far try to hide. And I'm not lying. That's just the truth. All right, we got a lot of people calling in. Let's see. I'll give you a rundown in just a second, J. Kane. All right, looks like we got a 305 area code. Who do we have on the line?
Yo, what's up?
Oh my God,
What's going on? Who do we got on the phone?
I'm from Miami.
name's Quentin. I'm Brandon.
Yo, but me and my brother were saying we were saying that like Manny Diaz has to be like Coach Schnellenberger, and he has to really like establish a presence at Miami.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about what he's done so far? I mean, are you pretty happy with what he's done so far?
I mean, like, I like the transfers he's brought in, but I think he's just trying to like reestablish us as a team.
Yeah, and I honestly think, I know we've had this discussion in the past, but I do think he's the right guy for the job. I mean, he brings a lot of heart to it. It's been said, it's been quoted many times by the media outlets that he's very vocal at practice, and I love that. That was my biggest complaint. I'm going to say the name out loud with Mark Richt, that he didn't have a lot of emotion. He wasn't very vocal. And that translates to the team's attitude, their demeanor, their play on the field. And Manny Diaz just brings a kind of a different level to that. He's going to be the coach that's fist bumping players on the sideline, that's high-fiving them, getting excited when they're getting turnovers, when the offense is scoring and stuff like that. So I do think that
This
he
is what it takes
is the head coach that could lead us to a
to wear
national
the U
championship. And I know
on
that's
the
a bold
side of your
prediction,
helmet.
but I think so.
Miami hasn't won the ACC since they
Well, how do you
joined
feel
it
about
neutral
like the
face.
quarterback situation?
It's still up in the air. It's too early. A lot of people want me to name a guy. Like they say, Coop, who's going to be the guy? What's your opinion? Who do you think? It's anybody's position to win still. I don't honestly think we'll know until maybe 2 weeks before the Gators game. Just being honest, that's my prediction. It's going to depend on a little bit on how the O-line performs, because I don't know, some of you guys in here are familiar with Miami Hurricanes time, and I know he said it really well when he was talking about if the O-line still struggles. Tate Martell, of course, as everyone knows, is pretty good at scrambling, so it could potentially be a better situation for him. If Jaron Williams has a little more time, his high IQ, he's always goes through his progressions, makes his reads. He's a good kind of pocket passer QB. N'Kosi Perry's kind of a mix of both. It's anybody's position to win, to be honest. So I don't have a prediction yet. I know it's going to be a heated battle, though. I feel like one guy could look better one day, and then another guy could look better the next day. So like I said earlier, I'm glad I'm not the guy making the decision. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. My brother wants to ask the question. So.
This is what it takes
Hello, Coop.
Hey, what's
to
going
wear the
on,
U
man?
on the side of your helmet.
KSAUXE, what's Florida's record vs US?
What wide receiver do you think should be like make a big field, like play great this year? Like what play do you think will play good this year?
I got you. Like, which wide receiver might have the biggest impact this season for us?
Yeah.
I think that it's finally time for Brian Hightower to step up. I was really, really impressed with him in the spring game last year, and we haven't really seen a whole lot from him. And he knows how to use his body well to kind of get in good position to catch the ball. And he high points the ball a lot, and he's good with his hands. So I think that it'll be a good year for Brian Hightower, in my opinion. And
what do you think about,
of course, the obvious KJ Osborne. I mean, he's going to ball out regardless.
And also, what about Mark Pope?
This is what it takes.
Mark Pope, yeah, we've been waiting on him to stand out for a while.
Florida 42, Miami 3 final score.
But it could be a good year for him, too. I'm just really interested to see how Brian Hightower steps up and KJ Osborne for me.
What do you think about, like, the loss of Lawrence Cager?
I wish him the best. Once a Cane, always a Cane. I mean, he was a family member. But I'm sorry, Cager dropped more balls than he caught, in my opinion. I saw him a lot not finishing routes. Overall, just wasn't impressed with Cager. So again, good luck to him with the rest of his career. But the pickup of KJ Osborne is more than enough to replace him, in my opinion. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just, we want the depth. We want people, to fill these positions. And I think we'll be just fine without him.
This is what it takes.
And do you think the addition
to
of
wear the U
Jeff Thomas
on the side of your helmet?
Any insight on today's scrimmage?
What was your question? I'm sorry.
Do you think, like, the addition of Jeff Thomas is going to help?
Oh, yeah, Jeff Thomas. It's been quoted from a lot of the media outlets that Jeff Thomas is literally the fastest wide receiver some of these reporters have ever seen practice on the field. And that's no joke. I mean, his speed doesn't lie. He just needed to get a little bit better with his accountability and his consistency. And with this new coaching staff in place, it could be a big year for him, too. Honestly, we're stacked at the wide receiver position, even with some of the people that left that we had with Ezard and Cager, like you were bringing up. The wide receiver room is stacked, in my opinion, and it could be a really good year for them, especially considering this new offense that's going to be in place.
Yeah, and what do you think is, like, what position do you think is most lacking?
We've got a lot of work to do on several different positions on the offensive side of the ball. Not a specific position, but of course the O-line is still kind of struggling. Obviously, based on the stats that we just looked at from the first scrimmage with the amount of sacks, there was like 6 sacks I think, from the first scrimmage. And that's kind of what it looked like last spring game. Was a lot of sacks, a lot of tackles for loss on the quarterback. So the O-line still needs improvement somewhere, somehow.
All right. I think that's it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you calling in. And I know that the other guy on the phone, Brandon, but what was your name again?
Q.
Quentin.
Yeah.
All right, I appreciate you calling in, bro.
All right.
All right, have a good night, man. Have a good night, Brandon.
Thanks. You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let me address a couple of these donations real quick that just came through because I didn't get to catch all of that. NMD TV and K-Sauce going at it back and forth in the donos. K-Sauce coming through with $1.99 says Miami hasn't won the ACC since they joined it. Okay, I mean, I can't argue that. That is a fact. You're right. I mean, they haven't.
To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
You Miami donators will not out-donate me. Go Gator.
This just blows my mind. I don't know how to take a Florida Gator trying to out-donate Miami Hurricanes fans. I don't really know how to treat that, but K-Sauce, thank you. Thank you for the $1.99. I appreciate that. But then NMD TV comes back and says, K-Sauce, what's Florida's record versus us? K-Sauce says Florida 42, Miami 3. Final score is his prediction for the game, K-Sauce? That's your prediction for this coming up game, this season? I need to make sure that I'm reading that right, K-Sauce. What's going on, Crit? What's going on? I just want to make sure 42-3, K-Sauce. And J. Kane donates $4.99. Says any insight on today's scrimmage? I'll cover the I'll cover the stats again real quick for you. Let me pull that back up actually real quick. Write it down and remember it. Well, we'll see. 42-3. Whew. That's a brave, bold prediction, K-Sauce.
This is what it take to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
You're very welcome, Coach. Now say go Gators.
Oh, I can't say that, K-Sauce. I can't say that. I'll leave that to you, my friend. But thank you for the donos. Thank you, bro. I do appreciate that. J. Kane was asking about specific stats for that. Let me pull those back up again real quick. I'll go over them for you, man, just in case. And for anybody else that's new that didn't catch them, I'll go over them real quick. And you can follow Josh White here on Twitter. Right here, you guys can see his handle if you're looking for exact stats again. N'Kosi Perry led the quarterbacks 5 for 7, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tate Martell, 6 for 11, 1 touchdown. For some reason with the quarterbacks, I know we already discussed this, no yards listed for Martell for his passing yards. Jaron Williams, 53 yards. Kind of vague, especially for Jaron Williams. Doesn't say if this was passing yards or if he had any rushes, anything like that. I'm assuming it's all passing yards. No other information. So they're keeping the quarterback stats kind of vague for the moment. And the reps were split up. Rivalry, exactly. Yes, they did say that the quarterbacks took equal reps, supposedly. Down here, additional offense. Cameron Harris, big day, 5 attempts, 32 yards. DJ Dallas, 38 yards. Doesn't specify on how many carries, so we don't know for that. Will Mallory probably had the biggest day, 4 receptions, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns for Will Mallory. Taking care of business in the absence of Brevin Jordan. Brian Hightower, 3 receptions, 22 yards. Mark Pope had a 52-yard touchdown reception. Big touchdown, big reception for Pope. Njoku, a 51-yard reception.
To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Yes, I said Florida 42, Miami 3.
All right, K-Sauce. All right, we're going to remember that. And stick around, though. A lot of people like to do that, and then they don't come back. So stick around for me, bro. Stick around for me. Appreciate that other $1.99, man. Now, if you notice, there's a lot of offensive players that are not here. If you notice, there's no JT. There's no KJ Osborne, which is very surprising. So I don't think these stats tell the whole story. Either this was a very short scrimmage that had some unique scenarios in place, or maybe they were doing first and short or third and longs type scenarios, things like that. You guys see what I'm saying? Something like that. I don't know if these stats really tell the whole story. Defense, from what I've heard, kind of owned the day, though. Greg Russo, 4 sacks. Nesta Silvera, 6 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. Harvey, 5 tackles, 2 sacks. Big day for them, for the defensive line. Bandy, 2 pass breakups. Gervin Hall, 4 tackles, and Al Blaze Jr., 2 tackles, 1 pass breakup. So, big day for the defense. Big day for the defense. But, again, as we already discussed, but I'll bring it up one more time here.
This is what it takes.
It's expected for the offense to struggle a little bit.
On the side of your helmet.
What's Coop?
What's up, Rod G? Thank you for that $2 donation.
This is what it takes.
Appreciate the support, bro.
On the side of your helmet.
Oh, trust me, I'll be here win or lose.
Hey, K-Sauce, you seem like a man of your word. You're dropping some donos on a Miami stream, so I respect that, bro. Thank you for the $1.99, and I look forward to you hanging around. I really do. I really do look forward to it, man. So the phone line is back open. We can take some calls again. You can call this number. Which way is it? Right here. 865-229-4131. Discuss really whatever you want, but if possible, we could talk about just spring practice in general, talk about the scrimmage. Oh, gosh, we got a lot called in. Okay, so. All right, looks like we've got a 407 area code. Who do we have on the line?
What's up, man? It's Omar.
What was your name? I'm sorry.
Omar?
Omar, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. I was hearing that you were talking about DJ Dallas and the running back situation. I agree with you. I don't believe DJ Dallas is a running back. I believe he's more of a receiver and an athlete. So I do believe Cameron, is it Harris now?
Yes, it's Cameron Harris now. You got it.
Yeah. I believe that he's going to be the starting running back, and then Lorenzo Lingard is going to back him up, or they're either going to split carries.
Yep. And that's, as you said, that's what I think, too. It's nothing against DJ Dallas. I mean, like I said, I love his heart. I love his fight that he has. But it was such a unique scenario with him being listed as athlete last season. And I think he kind of ended up just filling the role at running back because they weren't really sure exactly where to put him. It's not that he's not a good football player. It's just I don't think he necessarily fits the role of running back, but I don't know where I put him, to be honest. Where would you put him? I mean, if you were a coach, where would you put DJ Dallas?
Honestly, I'll put him in a slot, but that was before. I remember, with the situation with DJ, they made him gain 20 to 30 pounds in the offseason. But now you can't really put him in a slot because he's too big, so he doesn't have that speed, that explosive speed you need to be in a slot. So right now, unless he loses a lot of weight and does some crazy weight training, I would put him, if it was up to me and go back to that situation, I would definitely put him in a slot. I think he'd have been a great slot player.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I do think that he will get some reps just due to relieving Cameron Harris or Lingard occasionally. And you never know with injuries what might happen. Hopefully, of course, they don't, but you never know what could happen. So it's good to have the depth there. But like you said, just to reiterate what you already said, Lingard and Cameron Harris are just superior backs, just plain and simple.
Yeah, Lingard's just an animal. He was ranked number 2 in the country in Florida, so
that's who I am most excited about, honestly, is to see. I mean, it's going to be crazy this season.
Yeah, once you because not to say anything about SSU, but when they had Dalvin Cook, they had a back that once he touched the ball, all Miami fans got scared. You know what I mean?
This is what it takes.
You always got the, oh my God, Dalvin Cook on the ball.
To where do you?
I feel
on the side of your helmet.
DJ Dallas will have negative 5 yards rushing.
Once he touches the ball, everyone's
this is what it takes.
Excited to see what he can do. And
to where do you?
Opponent, oh my
on
God,
the side of your helmet.
You know what I mean?
Canes baseball is handling FSU again
he
tonight.
Himself after he comes off this injury, I think will definitely be able to raise the bar of
Yeah,
like
he's going
Miami's
to come
offense
back
as a
with a
whole.
vengeance. You know he's
Yeah,
chomping at the
absolutely.
bit to get some carries.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like you said, that there's nothing wrong with giving credit to athletes from other teams. In my opinion, there's no denying that Dalvin Cook was an explosive, talented back, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a while since we've had a guy like that we can lean on. Like we know,
Yeah,
like
I was saying
we get
exactly
third
that.
and
Yeah.
one, we're third and two. Hey, we give it to this guy. We're getting it. We've
If we
always
can,
kind of
yeah.
had that in the back of our head, like like we're cheering for him, but we're probably not getting it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Kind of that voice in the back of your head. And I think it might. I know it's coming from a Miami fan. I know it's biased, but I think it might finally be that time where we have a duo or a trio of backs here that we can really lean on and depend on in those situations.
Yeah. But also with that, because Duke Johnson, he was kind of that, but Duke Johnson.
That's actually
to me,
that exactly, man. I was kind of thinking that.
Yeah, Duke Johnson. But the thing with Duke Johnson, though, only thing I didn't like was when it came to big games, I didn't really see him do anything. Like when we would play FSU or if we would play like a high caliber team, he wouldn't really rush for 100 yards, and that could be like towards the offense as well because we had Brad Kaya back then. But I don't know. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want that player that can just go in the game and impact the game. Just your presence alone is like, hey, I'm here. Like you're not gonna stop me, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, with the QB situation, I do believe, just off of like how everything's going, I do believe that N'Kosi Perry is going to start. I also think that Tate Martell or Jaren Williams are like basically in battle for that second string position. Like, and that's kind of how it is right now. You know what I mean?
What is it? And if you're not comfortable answering, you don't have to. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I just like hearing other people's opinions and discussing it with you. What is it about N'Kosi Perry that you believe puts him at the number one spot? And this is strictly, I'm not critiquing anything you say about it. I just want to let you make it known, like to the chat and things like that, about why you think he's at the number one spot or what you think. I'll let you explain yourself, but what
Okay.
do you believe puts Perry at that number one spot?
Okay, so basically, people don't realize that N'Kosi Perry. I watch a lot of podcasts and stuff about Miami, and Malik Rozier said it best. He's like, if you're gonna put a player in as quarterback, you need to make sure that you're gonna stick with that player throughout the whole season. And the situation with N'Kosi Perry last year was the fact that if N'Kosi Perry had a bad game and then in the off season, but like in the practices between the weeks. They would have N'Kosi Perry and Malik Rozier splitting first-team reps or giving Rozier more first-team reps or Perry more first-team reps, and you throw them into a ball game, and now you have to hit someone in stride when you've been, training with the second-string reps. You know what I'm saying? Like the coaching was really bad. Like we didn't have a QB coach back then. Like now with Enos being there, he's going to be able to develop, actually, take these talented quarterbacks, that's what they are, and be able to make them like extremely special and bring out their real talent. And with N'Kosi Perry though, like to answer your question, he to me has the strongest arm and he's deadly accurate. Like some of the balls he would throw, a lot of the times the receivers couldn't catch it because it was so fast and right on the money and then just drop out of their hands. But Tate Martell, after watching QB1, he's also a really talented player, but I don't see him as a gunslinger. He does have an accurate ball, but when it comes to like that 50-yard bomb, unless he gets extremely lucky, he's probably not going to hit the player in stride, as I see N'Kosi Perry do, hit the player in stride. And I really don't have that much film on Jaren Williams, so it's kind of like
nobody does,
what
unfortunately.
He did in high school. Yeah, it's like what he did in high school. But like from watching the tapes, like when Tate Martell would get thrown in with Ohio State, his presence was great. But sometimes you underthrow receivers and they don't have to come back to it and stuff like that. So, I mean, again, I hope the best man wins the job. But from now, that's what I see. I do feel like N'Kosi Perry will win.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a moment to kind of plead your case and give your opinion, live on air. So, I appreciate that. We'll see what the chat thinks about it as well. Because like I said, I'm always happy to talk about the QB battle because, like we said, it's been a while since we've had – each of these guys could make a good argument as to why they could be the starter. And
we always
I love that. I'm excited about that, the fact that we have that issue, that problem. So I could talk about it all day.
Yeah. And then I have just one more thing to implement.
Yeah.
This is like addressing the Miami fans. We have to realize after like this season, we have like a lot of high hopes, but we have to realize like with Clemson and when Dabo came in as a young coach, like taking over, he had to, slowly, gradually become a champion, like caliber coach. You know what I mean? So like we have really high expectations for Manny Diaz, but we have to realize it's going to be a process. Like we're not going to automatically go to the national championship and win it. Like it's not going to happen that way. Just like allow him to implement his system and like, get his coaching staff around him to be able to develop these players in order to play at that championship level as Dabo is doing now. You know what I mean? So like, I don't think that we're going to be dominating teams as a lot of people are saying we are because of the fact that we have a new coaching staff and like they're still learning the system, players as well. And like being a first year head coach, if he were to win a national championship, that would be like probably the first time ever. You know what I mean? So like, we just have to realize that, gradually take the steps and then like, still support the team as well.
Yeah. And I do agree with, because I one of the points that I always make is your goals should be the national championship. I mean, that's what we need to be fighting for, and that needs to be the end goal, is to compete for the national championship. But I see what you're saying as far as if you set yourself up and say that it's national championship or bust, if we don't win the national championship, it's a failure.
That's what happened last
then
year.
that's not a good
exactly
thing to do, especially as you said. Just honestly, even with the hype coming with it, it's a first year head coach, his first time being a head coach. A lot of the staff is new, an entirely new offensive system. So, again, we have to have high expectations, shoot for the stars, say, let's try to win a national championship. But just like you said, that's a good way to put it, man. So I really appreciate you calling in and giving your input on all that.
No problem, man. Thank you for accepting the call.
You're welcome,
This
man.
is what
Hey,
it
have a good
takes.
night, bro.
You too. Go
To
Kings.
wear the U
Bye.
on the side of your helmet.
All you PPL throwing up the U, stop it, chomp chomp.
So let me address a couple of these donations real quick. And I missed some people that were stopping in. Nicholas Policastro, the man who owns the board behind me. Hey, thank you for stopping in, bro. We got Matt Hammett in the building. Emilio is here. Yep, Emilio's here. Let's see. Who else? A lot of regulars. Haven't seen some of you guys in a while. Josh Ayers is here. Beast Mode is here. AE is here. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Exciting night to talk Canes football. So let me address a couple of these donations real quick. K-Sauce still coming through with another $1.99. Says, so trust me, I'll be here win or lose. K-Sauce with a $10 donation says DJ Dallas will have -5 yards rushing. Again, somebody's gonna have to keep track of these.
This is what it
I need
takes.
somebody to keep track of these.
To wear the U on the side
Of
of
these
your helmet.
predictions.
Been a while, but glad to be back.
And then Rod G, Canes Baseball is handling FSU again tonight. Yeah, Canes Baseball is looking good, man, especially against FSU. K-Sauce again, $1.99. All you people throwing up the U, stop it, chomp chop. Thank you for that, K-Sauce. And Nicholas Policastro just coming through with a $30 donation. My man, thank you for that. Been a while, but glad to be back. I'm glad to have you back, Nicholas. I hope you've been doing well, man. Appreciate that. I'm doing great tonight, Matt. Doing great tonight. So, again, quick recap again, just because there's a lot of new people in here right now. People that weren't here at the beginning. We did an injury report at the beginning. You can see that back at the beginning. We did keynotes from the first scrimmage, stats from the first scrimmage, and we discussed the QB battle. Good deal, Nicholas. Big moves is what it's all about, man. Positivity. 2019 is going to be a big year for all of us. And I'm glad you're making big moves, Nicholas. So Chris, your boy says, Coop, I hear Perry separated himself today. How do you feel about it? I'm excited. As I made it known for the QB battle, it's going to be day to day with these QBs, and I mean that in the best way possible. One day it's going to look like Tate Martell's number one.
This is what it
The
takes.
next day it's going to look like Perry's number one. The next day it's going to look like Williams is
On
number
the side
one.
of your helmet.
$30, oh heck no, not on my watch, hold up.
K-Sauce coming through with another $1.99. I've never received so many donations from a fan of an opposing team. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Rev Lee, what he's referring to is just the stats. probably with Perry. I'll pull it back over again. Perry seemed to have some pretty good stats from the scrimmage today. 5 for 7, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. So apparently a pretty big day. They said that Perry looked pretty good. But again, I've heard that Tate Martell looks good. And then 2 days before that, I heard that Jaron Williams was, no matter what, definitely on top and the starting quarterback. So just hear me out. If there's anything you take away from this stream, and that's not even really necessarily what this stream was about, Canes fam, but listen. Yeah, exactly, Revly. We don't know. And I did address that before we started the stream, Revly, that these stats are vague. There's no way. I mean, here, let me flip over one more time. I know I keep doing it. These stats are very vague. We don't know the full extent of these. I highly doubt this isn't all the offensive stats. I'm sure they at least attempted a pass to KJ Osborne. I'm sure some other people. What I'm getting at is these stats, we don't know the full extent of these. This is all that is reported. And also, we don't know if they were starting at the 25 and trying to march down the field, if they were put in situations, 3rd and long, 1st and short. You see what I'm saying? We don't know. So keep that in mind with the stats. Keep that in mind. So
This is what it take to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
so
Miami record this season 3-9 no bowl game.
This is what it take to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Kazakh still sleeps with a nightlight.
Okay, K-Sauce, you have to understand why I laughed at that. Brandon, thank you for the $1.99. K-Sauce, thank you for the $1.99. I hope somebody's keeping track of K-Sauce's predictions. I hope they are, because these are bold predictions. But thank you guys for the donations there. What's going on, Airbrush Royale? He says, at any rate, we ballin', boys. Appreciate it, man. We will, Chris, your boy, win. The scrimmage next week, there will be tape on it and a full breakdown, so make sure you stick around for that. I will live stream next Saturday, and we'll discuss the one that's open to the public and to the media much more in depth than this one. But this is the limited stuff that we have. Can't keep track of something that low. Oh man. Yeah, the phone lines are open. Any news on Gilbert Frierson? Not really, Emilio. Not really, but there will be much more stats available in this next scrimmage, so keep that in mind. So, looks like we've got a new caller coming in.
This is what it take
Actually sleep with 2 night lights, got a
on
problem.
the side of your helmet.
Okay, Sauce.
Actually, I sleep with 2 night light, got a problem.
All right, looks like we've got an 812 on the line. Who do we have on the phone?
Sean Kelsey.
What's going on, Sean?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
So,
I just wanted to. You guys were talking about the DJ Dallas thing. It's kind of intriguing. What would be your thoughts, like if you used DJ Dallas, kind of like what they did with Devin Hester back in the day, when they used him kind of like a DB, running back, wide receiver, kickoff return, kind of like a jack of all trades type of deal.
That's a possibility. I feel like we would need to make sure that ball security is stressed to him, because he did have a couple of unnecessary fumbles last season, which I know that can happen to anybody. But I would want to make sure that's stressed to him if he's, on kickoff return or punt return, something like that. But I think potentially if Cameron Harris and Lingard stay healthy, that might make more sense for DJ Dallas, because I don't want to see his talent go to waste, if that makes sense. I mean, because like I said, I think he's a good football player. It's almost like nobody just really knows exactly where to use him with his best strength in mind, or his skill set. Because again, I think that he's an okay running back. It's not that he's bad. It's just I think that we're starting to build up a stable of running backs that might be on a little bit of a different level, and he might be better utilized elsewhere. And that's not necessarily a bad idea, the one that you presented.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe they could use him as possibly like a DB situation, or like even as like a relief or something of that nature, because he's so talented either way. They could shed some of the weight, get some of that speed back. He might be able to contribute better on that side of the ball. But I guess nobody really knows unless you put him over there and see how it fits.
Yeah, we kind of just have to try it out and see what happens. I guess maybe at practice or something like that. Kind of throw him in there and see how he performs. Because I know he's been quoted saying, wherever coach wants to put me, because like we talked about when they had him listed as athlete, he kind of just said wherever coach puts me, I'll try to make something happen.
On the side of your helmet.
Right. Kasachs showers with a bathing suit on.
The QB situation, and everybody has their own opinions about everything, and everybody wants to give the reasons why, this person over that person. To be quite honest, everybody wants to talk about how small Tate Martell is, and everybody wants to talk about they don't have any tape. But the same thing, I think you said with the last caller, we really don't have any tape on Jaron Williams either. Right. So they're both kind of an unknown. But just me and my personal opinion, I would love to see how Tate could perform. Just give him one game, maybe not the Florida game, but just give him one game and see what he could really do as far as managing a game and controlling an entire offense, instead of just putting him in for some clock plays or cleanup crew at the end of the day, and just put it to rest. Can the guy actually play on this level competitively and and be kind of like a Russell Wilson, or can he not hack it and just give him his 15 minutes, or let him either perform or put him to bed?
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, I made this statement in the last QB battle series that I'm doing, the one that I did a few videos back that covered Tate Martell, and one of the things I said was, I think that most Miami fans can agree, even if they dislike Tate Martell, I think they can agree that anytime Tate Martell's number has been called at Ohio State, and then again, he has limited college play, so you have to look back at high school. Anytime his number's been called, he's stepped up and taken care of business. So kind of like you said, he would almost kind of just have to be given a shot, and we'll have to see what he can do. I think we'll know so much more about these quarterbacks with this offense once everybody can kind of be live, everybody's in full pads, it's full speed, full contact, and we can kind of see a little bit more after that, and kind of see once all of them have had a little bit more time with this new system that Enos is implementing. Because Manny Diaz today, from the scrimmage that they had, he just kept saying, execution on offense was very poor at times, and again, to be expected, but we're not able to see all of these quarterbacks at their full potential yet, I don't think.
Right. And then just one last thing I wanted to get your opinion on. I cannot remember where I read it at now, but somebody was saying, talking about the defensive line, they were saying that while Manny Diaz has been with Miami, they're saying that this may possibly be the worst set of defensive line that he's been able to work with since they've been there. I don't necessarily agree with that statement, because we really don't know until you see the product put on the field. But
right.
What's kind of your thoughts on that kind of statement? Do you think that this is going to be a worse defensive line that we've had in his era, or do you think that it's just unknown, or do you think it's going to be better than what we expect?
It'll be kind of hard to know exactly what to expect. I definitely wouldn't say the worst, I don't think. I think it – and people get mad at me for bringing this up a lot. I'm not saying that our offensive line is horrible, or that our O-line just that it sucks. But I feel like it's kind of hard to gauge it a little bit, because there are a lot of people that will look back. I know that we had one of the top-ranked defenses in the country last season, and I know that the positions have changed as far as the people actually playing on the defensive line, a lot of them. But I feel like it's kind of hard to judge for a lot of people, because a lot of people say that the offensive line is not that good. So, for instance, when you look at, this first scrimmage, I know the stats were kind of vague, but, with the 5 or 6 sacks and the tackles for loss and all that stuff, really makes the defensive line look pretty darn good at the moment. But a lot of people say that the offensive line is kind of subpar and lacking in a lot of areas. So, for me personally, I hate riding the fence on you like this, but it's kind of hard for me to say right now, to be honest. I don't think – I think we have some ballers on the D-line. We've got some guys that really seem like they're putting in work in the offseason and trying to get better. But it's kind of hard to say. I feel like for most stuff, and again, no matter what, we're always going to speculate and talk and do this kind of stuff. But I feel like throughout summer, I think we'll have a lot better idea at most of the positions.
Mm-hmm. Now, as far as the O-line goes, do you think that everybody's under the impression that the O-line was that horrible, which I'm not saying they were great, but do you think that they may have caught a lot of extra shade because of who we had at QB and the inconsistency at QB and the fact that, when Rozier was back there, that he had a lot of hesitation and held the ball maybe a little too long, or do you think that they were just straight trash?
I at least this is me. Number one, I'll say from what I see on opinions, and people in the chat can right now while we're talking can make their opinion be known if they want about the offensive line, because I'm curious what they have to say. But just me personally, when I'm browsing through like Facebook groups or forums and things like that, most people seem to just think the O-line wasn't very good.
On the side of your helmet.
They weren't very strong. They weren't very skilled. They didn't have good technique. They kind of just got pushed around, just kind of beat off the ball. That's what I see anyways, kind of reading on these groups and things. And I do think that they've been lacking strength-wise a little bit. I can't remember our the big dude. Was it Gus that was our strength and conditioning coach last year? I can't remember his name yet, the big guy. A lot of people kind of poked fun at the O-line because they were talking about, they're bigger guys in general, but it looked like there might have been I'm not poking fun at anybody. I'm just saying maybe a little more fat than muscle kind of thing going on. And again, they're bigger guys. You know what I'm saying. But a lot of people said we were kind of just lacking in the strength and conditioning area with the O-line. They got pushed around a lot. And that's where I've made the point a lot that with Butch Berry, I think he'll improve the technique tremendously, but it's going to take time. And with the new strength and conditioning guy, they're going to get stronger, better nutrition plan. But again, going to take time. So it's still one of those, again, it's hard for me to say for sure. I think that they'll, no matter what, I do think they'll be improved over last season. But I think that will be because they'll be stronger and they'll have better technique.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all I want. I'll let some other callers get in there. I'll just leave it at this. Keep taking that Gator money. It spins just like anybody else's, right?
That's true, man. I appreciate that, Sean. Hey, sorry if I'm being kind of vague on some of your questions and stuff.
No, you're good.
Some of them were just kind of hard to answer at the time. But, hey, trust me, I love discussing them either way.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
All right. Appreciate you calling in, Sean.
Yep.
All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, some of these questions, guys, I know I get made fun of for riding the fence and being vague, but some of these questions are a little hard to answer right now. But I still love discussing them, debating them, all that good stuff. And sometimes you guys have a better input and opinions and information than I do. So feel free to make your opinion known in chat when we're having these discussions. So let me address a couple more of these donations. While I was on the phone again, K-Sauce came through with another $1.99, saying he sleeps with 2 night lights. Brandon came through with $1.99 and said that K-Sauce showers with a bathing suit on. That's a new one. That one actually had me cracking up when I was on the phone. I'm not going to lie, K-Sauce. And Brandon came through again and says K-Sauce sits when he pees. All right. All fair game. So appreciate those donos, guys. The phone line is still open if anyone else wants to call in. Yeah, thank you for the name, Jason Gus Felder. I didn't have a problem with Gus Felder, but I think this new strength and conditioning coach is going to get us right. I think so. You can call in if you want, K-Sauce. Everyone can make their opinion be known. Of course, I try to keep it at least PG-13 if possible. But you can call in if you want. I mean, just know that chat's going to give you a hard time. I'll let you speak your mind, but chat will give you a hard time. We got another Florida fan, Master of Dreams, here repping his squad. Who wants K-Sauce to call in? Let's get a poll. Who wants K-Sauce to call in? I'm waiting to see the response. I'm waiting to see the response. What's going on, Dennis Wilson? What's going on? And like I mentioned, if anybody wants to see the stat breakdown and the big discussion on the first scrimmage, spring practice, the QB battle, and the injury report, we did discuss it kind of early on. There was a lot less people here at the time, but we did discuss that at the beginning. And guys, Canes fam, you got to keep in mind that as this game gets closer, as this game approaches, a lot more Gator fans will come out of the woodwork. So prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for that. How did the QBs do, Martin? Based on the stats that were given to us, which were a little vague, N'Kosi Perry seemed to do the best. If that's what you want to call it, the best. I'll show it again for anybody new here. I know this is repeating it for a lot of people, but N'Kosi Perry, 5 of 7, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. If you notice, again, see Tate Martell here, 6 for 11, 1 touchdown. No yards listed, and Jaron Williams, 53 yards, no other information. So they were really vague on the stats, but we knew they were going to be. We knew that they were going to be for this first scrimmage. It was closed to the public and the media. So if anybody else does want to call in, we could take another phone call or two. We've been live for about an hour and a half. What's up, Slim Shady? You might be catching the tail end of it, Slim Shady. I don't know yet. We've been live for about an hour and a half. What's going on, Brandon? Master of Dreams says Miami still thinks they're the Miami team in the 80s. No one is scared to play Miami. They're a joke, and I'm just speaking facts. What has Miami done since 2001? Well, I need to know. Maybe somebody can fill me in. Maybe a Gator fan can fill me in, because there's some here right now. What have the Gators done? What have the Gators done? Good question. Chat, does anybody know? Does anybody know? I'm just curious. Maybe I missed something. Did I miss something? I'm looking to you guys. I'm looking at chat. Let's see. Hold on. Let's look at the Florida Gators. We can get into this conversation if we need to. And hey, guys, like I said, nobody get too butt hurt. This is all in good fun. I love trash talk. I enjoy it. I want to see what the Gators have done. Are these stats right for the Gators? What's going on, Cody? All right. List of Florida Gators football seasons. Let's take a look. Let's just take a look. Let's see. Let's go over. Okay. Let me move myself out of the way here. Whoa. Okay. Now. Florida Gators seasons. Let's look at the past maybe 10 years or so. Okay, so last year, of course, the Gators went 10-3 with the win in the Peach Bowl. Hold on, let me look at this table here to see what these numbers are. Okay, so that's the coaches poll, the AP poll, their standing, and then their conference record. Okay. Okay. All right. What here is so notable? I'm just asking. I'm not trying to be rude Coop here. What is so notable? For real, I'm asking. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not even bringing Miami into it. I've not even said anything about Miami being anything. I'm just asking what is so I'm asking. I don't know any other way to put it. And I'm looking for somebody to give me the answer. (2006, 2008, 2001). So 2006, 2008, and then 2001. But is that not still just living in the past, just not quite as far in the past? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. 2009 Super Bowl win. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Hold up. I didn't bring the cab back up. Oh, man. I mean, look, it's going to be a good game. I'm not even going to pretend like it's not going to be a good game. And listen, Master of Dreams and K-Sauce, like I said, you guys have my respect. And some Miami fans might get mad at me for saying that. You guys have my respect because you don't back down from the trash talk. And you hang out in the chat. This is primarily a Miami Hurricane stream, and you guys are here. So you have my respect, for real. Now, I can't stop the chat from ripping you apart, though. I can't control that. But yeah, if anybody wants to... Okay. If a Gator fan wants to call in, Master of Dreams or K-Sauce. Here's the number. No, over here. Here's the number. 865-229-4131. I'll let you speak your piece right here live in front of all the Miami Hurricanes fans. Right now. And I won't even dog you. I won't. I'm serious. So don't worry. K-Sauce, I won't dog you. I won't. It's not quite time for that yet. I won't dog you yet. But if you want to speak your piece on this Miami-Florida matchup, you can call in and do it right now. I'm giving you the opportunity. I've got it ready. It's open. The phone line is open. Let me make sure. Greg says, oh, come on, Coop. Rip him a new one. That day will come, Greg. That day will come. Trash talk is part of college football. That day will come. Maybe this is him. 334. Let's see. Maybe this is him. All right. Looks like we've got 334. Who do we have on the line?
K-Sauce.
What's going on, K-Sauce? Hey, mad props to you for calling in, bro. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
So let's discuss a little bit here. I wanted to give you an opportunity. I know you've kind of already done it, in the chat, but to kind of speak your mind a little bit on this Miami-Florida matchup, because you seem to be a big Gators fan. And hey, like I said, props to you, repping your squad, repping your team, man.
Go Gators.
What do you? Trying to think of how to word this. What is it, I guess, that – and I'm asking this as an actual for real serious question. We can turn it into trash talk, but I have a real serious question. Like, what is it about the Gators that makes them so confident that they'll beat Miami? I mean, is it just because of the way you ended your last season, or is there – because I don't keep up with the Gators a whole lot, just being honest. So I'm just kind of curious to you can kind of speak your mind on it a little bit.
All right. First of all, last season, obviously, we did good, even though everyone thought we would suck. And I personally thought that also. But Mullen came in, set the Gator standard, turning the program around, or starting to. It's a stepping ground. And now, next thing you know, recruiting class last year was like average. Now turning into this year where more players are starting to see it, we finished, number 9 in recruiting in Miami, 29. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Miami, 29, I think. But, yeah, so obviously more players are starting to see the Gator standard. I don't know, for Miami, 29 in recruiting, that's kind of terrible, but at least y'all got the transfer portal. I guess, I don't know if that'll save y'all. And, spring game coming up next week, so, finna go watch. And my only big concern about us, I feel like we'll be fine on both sides of the ball except for one position, just like y'all, the offensive line. We'll see how that plays because we lost a lot of seniors. So we have, a bunch of young, freshmen on the O-line. So that's my only concerning point. But other than that, if they get that squared away, I have no problem. It's no problem them beat Miami easily, in my opinion. Got the best corner duos in the country. Got some good running backs. Felipe, Frank, still hate him. But,
What's the deal with the Gators quarterback situation? Because I see a lot of people bring up Felipe, and I don't know what the big deal with him is. Do Gator fans not like him, or?
It's a love-hate relationship. I don't know if you watch, but he played against Missouri. He came out looking trash. He got booed off by the field by us. Next thing you know, Kyle Trask came in and, took over, and then he got hurt in practice. So then we got Felipe Franks for the South Carolina game. He started sucking, and then he came back. Then he shushed us. Now we all love him again. And then he played good in the Florida State and then the Michigan game. So, I mean, look, if that carries over to next season, because his biggest problem was overthrowing receivers wide open, and some of his reads are still concerning because – and his decision-making, which cost us quite a bit of games. I feel like the Georgia game, I didn't know if we would win it, but, we could have probably kept it close. There's no excuse to lose to Missouri, so, it's a love-hate relationship on Felipe. We just want a quarterback that literally can execute just like y'all. I don't know who's y'all quarterback's going to be, but Tate Martell, no.
Who do you want the Canes quarterback to be? Who do you think you would give you the best opportunity to beat us?
If I was y'all, I would either roll with what's his name, Williams.
Yeah, Jaron Williams.
Yeah, Jaron Williams. I mean, that's all I hear all y'all talk about. I'm like, and then I hear this Tate Martell hype. I mean. I'll give him credit. He's good, but, like I said, I'm not concerned. He's not like a Tua Tagovailoa or a Trevor Lawrence type of quarterback, but, not really concerning who y'all quarterback's going to be, to be honest. But I will give you one props. Y'all do got a good receiver in number 4, Jeff Thomas. He's probably going to be a little concerning, but you know what? I ain't worried. We DBU all day, every day. I'm not worried.
I don't know. I feel last season LSU told me that they were DBU. So is it Florida or is it LSU? Because I don't know.
We beat LSU.
That wasn't me trying to talk trash. I was just seriously curious because LSU fans ripped me up when I made fun of them for saying they were DBU, and I do see a lot of Gator fans say that too.
I mean, shoot, what's his name? LSU's quarterback, Joey Burrow. He came into that Florida game literally no interception. Next thing you know, he throws 2. I mean, LSU can argue all they want. They know who the real DBU is.
I wish there were some LSU fans in here so you guys can go back and forth at it. Hey, man, look, for real, I appreciate the support tonight. I know this probably turned a little bit different than you thought because what I'd like to do, to be honest with you, K-Sauce, is as the game gets closer, if you stick around on the channel, I'd love it because I'd like for you to call in as it starts getting a little bit closer so we can do like some actual legit trash talk back and forth once both sides know a little bit more concrete, when it comes to starters and things like that, and we have some actual numbers to throw back. Because right now, all we can do, I'm just going to be honest with you, and this is coming from a Miami fan, all we can do is talk about what we did last season and what we think we're going to do this season right now. But once we've got some starters in place, we know what we're working with, we know what's going on. I mean, I still think either way that we're going to take care of business, but you see what I'm saying. It'd be a little easier to talk trash back and forth as it gets a little closer.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I will stick by the channel through years to come. Like I said, I'm a man of my word, win or lose. I'm going to come up here. If I got to cry in front of y'all, I'm going to cry in front of y'all.
I respect that.
If I got to throw an apology in the super chat, cry tears and all that, hey, I'm going to do it. I have no problem. But just know, keep doing your thing, dude. You starting to come up as a Gator fan. I respect you. I love the channel. I started watching you, I think, a couple of months ago, something like that. And, I was like, I hate Miami, but you know what? This channel is pretty lit. And you got to really change that.
How did you find it? Was it a video of me talking about Gators or what? I'm just curious.
I was when the 2019 season started, and then all this Florida Miami, it's gonna be the most talked about leading up to it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, so I've been watching, looked up YouTube videos on Florida. I looked up all of our games last season. I was like, and then I looked at Miami game. Wisconsin, 35-30. I'm sorry. But then I came across a video. I was like, what was it? I think it was like Miami, who's our starting quarterback gonna be and all that. And then I clicked on it, and then it comes that intro. What up, Canes fans?
That's pretty good impression. I'll give you that. That's 8 out of 10.
And that's when I started watching. I was like, you know what? As a Gator fan, the dude got some content. I can't lie about that. You got some content, but yeah.
Definitely stick around. Once this gets a little closer, I'm telling you, I got some big plans, and you're going to want to chime in the comment section on some of these videos and stuff. Trust me. So you're going to want to stick around.
Hey, man, I got my apple juice. I bathe with a bathing suit. I sit when I pee. I read it all. Yeah, man, I'm going to stick around, definitely.
All right, sounds good. Hey, like I said, mad props. Appreciate you being able to, take some trash talk and, stuff like that. Most people can dish it, but they don't like to take it. So I got respect for that. And we'll do some stuff as this gets a little closer. So stay tuned because I want you to call in a couple more times, and we'll do some stuff here, man.
All right, bro. And I'm going to let you go. Keep doing streams. They are lit. And once again, the U suck. Go Gators.
Have a good one, K-Sauce. Thanks for calling in, bro.
Hey, you too.
Hey, y'all got to say, hey, Canes fans, hey, listen now. Everything that he said about Florida being better and beating Miami was dead wrong, okay? I'm just going to go ahead and fact check him real quick. Nah, he was wrong, okay? But I got to give him props for calling in. Most people like to hide behind the keyboard, and I get it. K-Sauce came in big and donated tonight, and he called in. So, K-Sauce, props to you, bro. Appreciate it. I mean, I'm sorry that you have bad information, but I'm not here to judge you on that, okay? I'm not here to judge you on where you get your information and things like that. But Appreciate you calling in, man. I do. I appreciate you calling in. But it's fun just to banter, talk back and forth. Canes versus Miami. It's going to be the biggest game. Oh, man. The world's going to be watching. People make fun of me for saying that all the time. The world will be watching Miami versus Florida, period. Looks like we got 914 area code. Who do we have on the line?
Hey, what's up, man? It's DJ again from Orlando.
What's up, DJ?
Oh.
Now, is this DJ, the one with the U as your logo on YouTube?
The one with the U as my logo on YouTube. You know, DJ, the one you talked to last time from Orlando. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it's me, bro. How you
Gotcha.
doing?
Just making sure too. I thought it was.
Yeah, man. How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Enjoying my Saturday night talking Canes.
Yeah, I know. I just got on YouTube and seen that you was on live, man. So I had to call in just for a few minutes. I ain't got too much time, but I just wanted to say what's up and speak to you about the Canes, man, a little bit.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty. I'm always excited, but every time there's stuff like scrimmages and all this stuff like that, it kind of relights that fire again and gets me all pumped up.
Yeah, man. So what's talking about tonight? Because I'm just tuning in, so I'm trying to figure out what.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. We were discussing stats from the scrimmage today. But I'm kind of telling everybody, they're sort of vague because it wasn't open to the public or the media. So they were really weird about not disclosing exact stats on the quarterbacks. And then there were just a handful of offensive stats and defensive stats, probably just the big ones that they released on that. And then we were kind of just talking about injury reports. And then everybody really mostly wanted to talk about, as usual, the quarterback battle and Miami versus Florida, because a couple of Florida fans jumped into the chat. If you've been here for the last few minutes, I'm sure you saw that. They've been donating to the channel, going back and forth. So mostly Florida versus Miami, and then the QB battle as usual, because that's always a hot topic.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So when it comes out of that, I don't really know too much of what happened today, neither, and all that other stuff, man. But I'm really on. I'm really excited, man. April 20th right around the corner, so I'll be at the scrimmage game, so I can give some insight when I'm there.
Heck yeah, because I wanted to make it, but I had some personal stuff come up, so I'm not going to be able to go. So honestly, a lot of you guys are going to be eyes and ears and stuff. Like, so if you hear anything or whatever you see, definitely shoot me a DM or a message, or text, or call me, something like that. I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I'll definitely do that, man. So right now, you get what I'm saying. I just wanted to call and say, hey, how you doing? And watching YouTube live, I ain't got too much to talk about today. But after April 20th, are you going to go live anytime after that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're gonna go live after all of the spring games, both spring games, and then we'll continue to go live. I'm trying, now that I have everything fixed. I've got my internet fixed, my camera fixed, my computer fixed. Everything's finally fixed. Honestly, the plan is 2 to 3 videos a week plus a live stream every week. So it's gonna get crazy.
All right. Well, then after April 20th, you'll be hearing from me again after that, and I'll be calling you on when you get on live, and I can talk more then. Right now, I can't
definitely
really give too much information, but I wanted to say hi. How you doing, man? Keep doing your good job again, man.
Appreciate that, man. I appreciate it, DJ.
Heck yeah, man. Go Canes, man.
Heck yeah, go Canes, man. Have a good night, man.
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
This is what it takes to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
UF ring 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 DAU ring 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 ring. Nuff said.
Nuff said. Slim Shady Canes coming through with his usual 305. Thank you for that dono, man. I appreciate it. You guys are going at it in the chat. I love it. I love seeing this type of heart and emotion from fans of both sides, honestly. Like I said, I love college football just in general. And DJ, my man, thank you for calling in. I know you're just tuning in. We're probably about to wrap it up. But thank you for calling in, DJ. If you guys ever want to call in real quick and just say, hey, how you doing? Wanted to check in with you, Coop. You guys can do that too. I mean, I love hearing from you guys. You guys are my family. So what's going on? Looks like we've got a 901 area code. Who do we have on the line?
Hey, you already know who it is, Coop.
What's going on, man? I like to double check just in case.
Man, what's with the CNN anchor with the fake news you had on here about the Florida Gators a minute ago?
I don't know where he gets his information from, but I think he really needs to check his sources.
Okay, well, let's. I'm gonna do a kind of a. We'll call it a Ben Shapiro moment for anybody in the audience that watches him. We're gonna sit here and tear the fake news to pieces.
Okay, you've got the floor.
Well, first of all, he wants to bring up Miami's 29th ranked recruiting class. What was Florida's class after their 4-8 season? And I do stress 4-8. A bad year in Miami is last year, 7-5. We don't go 4-8. Okay, let's not forget that, Florida. Okay, seriously.
Yeah, they're Master of Dreams and K-Sauce are actively responding to you in the chat, just so you know. Just giving you a heads up.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I mean, Master of Dreams doesn't have a whole lot going for him, though, because he's riding on a 95 Nebraska team that he thinks is better than Miami. Well, if he would actually pay attention to what he's looking up, Nebraska's best team ever was in the late 70s, not 95. Learn a little something about football, then come back and talk, okay?
Hey, I'm just sitting here smiling. I'm letting you do your thing.
And then, well, let's see. What other information can I? Who owns the all-time series? I think Miami's up by 2-3 games in the series, and Florida was a dominant team 30 years before Miami ever became relevant. Come on now. Miami didn't become relevant until the late 70s, early 80s. Florida was considered a blue blood school back in the 50s and 60s, and probably well before then. And you've let us get more national titles than y'all since then? Really? Now you want to go back to the last time, and only time, might I add, in my lifetime, that Florida has ever beat Miami? You know, your Lord and Savior Tebow's no longer there. And to top that off, it took them until the end of the game to beat the #1 recruiting class in the country as true freshmen. That game was 6-3 until the fourth quarter.
Ooh.
Watched every minute of it.
I was trying to pull up and see the exact numbers on the history of Miami and Florida, but it's not one.
Miami's up 26-22. We're up by 4 games.
Oh, 4 games.
Miami's up 26. Yep, we're up 4 games.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like FSU fans getting on their whole roll about winning 7 in a row. They just never looked at the fact that it took them 7 in a row to catch up, because we still lead that series and took a 2 more game lead over the last couple of years.
Master of Dreams says, you're an idiot that the Nebraska team is ranked '1 on Bleacher Report.
Okay, and
FYI.
Once again, yeah, that's fine. But I think it was 2009, 2010. ESPN did a special. Matter of fact, I think it's still on my DVR. They ranked every national championship team since it was called the national championship at 51. And the 01 Canes were the best team ever as of 2009, 2010, somewhere around there.
It's kind of, yeah, for me, it kind of gets aggravating when because people do always label us. I know you know this as well as I do, as Miami fans, that we always live in the past. That's all we ever do is we bring up the past. But then everyone always wants to argue with me stuff that they've done in the past. Like, I'm not talking a year ago. I'm talking 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And they're doing the exact same thing that they're saying that we're doing. So it just...
Florida's doing the same thing, because sitting there watching the Uncle Lou show the other night, he pointed out one of my favorite stats once again. It's been 11 years since Florida won the SEC, so they're doing nothing but living in the past too.
Yep.
And I mean, they were so happy. I think he was talking about them they had nothing else to celebrate. So Kirby Smart's first year at Georgia, Florida put up a banner that they won the SEC East. They didn't win the SEC, just won their division. Great. You won it against Tennessee. You won it against Vanderbilt. You won it against Kentucky, who you just lost to, by the way. And you won it against a Georgia team who may have been a talented team, but first year ever as a head coach. And now Florida, and I said this in Lou's show the other night, Florida is trying to hype themselves up about beating a team that just went 7-5 against a coach that has never coached a game ever. I mean, how pathetic are you if that's all you can really hold on to?
Yep, like I said, I'm all smiles. I'm just reading the chat, letting you do your thing.
And then all Master of Dreams has is, well, you've never won the ACC.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't been in the same conference for 150 years like the University of Florida. See, at one time, Miami was independent, which means they would actually play good teams away from their conference. Unlike Florida, who, for starters, hasn't played a true road game against a non-con opponent since 2004, 2003, something like that. I don't know what it is. Y'all are afraid to leave the state of Florida for some reason. Hell, y'all are afraid to play Georgia outside the state of Florida. Whatever. But no, before that, look up how many Big East titles we had back when, the Big East was a good conference. Syracuse was a dominant team. Virginia Tech was a dominant team. Come on, bro. You got to come something a little harder than that.
Yeah, I will say all of the Gator fans, like I mentioned, that I know in real life too, they are definitely confident and cocky coming into this game. That's for sure.
Oh, that's fine. Hey, that is well and dandy. I'm not the one calling for a blowout.
Yeah.
So all these Florida fans are thinking that they're fixing to blow out Miami. What are you going to do when maybe you only win by 3 or you even lose?
Yeah, I have
because
two.
You want to say, go ahead.
I have 2 people that are Gators fans that work beside me, and I sat down with them the other day, and they stop by occasionally and buy drinks where I work at. And I said, seriously, I said, you guys are always joking with me. You're always giving me a hard time. It's cool. I said, what do you really think the score will be to this game? And I'm being 100% honest with you. Both of them said, there's no way Miami puts up more than 7 points on our defense.
That's something else I'm trying to figure out. DBU.
They're very confident.
Who had the number 1 ranked pass defense last year? I don't think it was Florida.
Nope.
Who was it? Somebody help me, please. I can't remember. I'm getting old. It's hard to remember things.
They are extremely confident in holding Miami to 1 or 2 touchdowns, if not less than that.
My personal prediction for the game, I think either way, it's going to be a 28-21 game.
I could see
personally,
that.
I think
I could
Miami's
see it being in the 20s. There's going to be some jitters initially coming into this game for both teams, I feel like, because they're both going to have a couple of young guys at some different positions. It's going to be very hyped up. There's going to be a huge crowd there. It's going to be week 0, and there's going to be some jitters, so it's going to take a little bit for everybody to settle in. But I could see something in the 20s as well. I think that's a pretty good prediction.
Yeah, and I mean, that's my prediction either way. I mean, Florida's not going to put up more than 28 points on that defense.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. And you're relying, you say your O-line's bad, well, that's going to go against you right there because we're going to have one of the best, once again, front sevens in the country. They want to talk about, Wisconsin ran up, 300 yards rushing against you. Okay. They ran up 300 yards rushing in the second half against a defense that had been on the field for 45 minutes of the game.
They were gassed, man.
Now, what they don't want to talk about is the Miami team that held Georgia Tech to 130 yards rushing that averaged 420 yards rushing a game.
All they do is rush. I think they threw, under 5 passes?
Actually, I think they threw 7.
Did they set 7? Okay, so under 10 passes.
I think they hit 7.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, it was a pass-happy game for them.
Yeah.
And then I've seen this guy Master of Dreams do it several times. Him and some other Florida fans. When all of their CNN fake news runs out, they want to run back to the whole convict youth thing. Miami's a bunch of criminals. Yeah, but Florida's the only one with Aaron Hernandez. And that beats everybody in Miami's history. Just one player. I mean, what's the worst you got out of Miami? Okay, Warren Sapp did a little blow. He didn't beat up the hookers till he left. Who was it? Not him. It was Randall Hill made some long-distance phone calls without paying for them. Okay, big whoop. Send him a bill. It's paid for. Aaron Hernandez was one step from Hannibal Lecter. So let's keep things in perspective.
Yeah, like I said, I know either way the Florida Gator fans, like I said, are real confident and real cocky, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad, just because it's really hyping up this game a lot, and I'm not going to go there yet. I could dive a lot deeper in this, but I want to do it a little bit closer to the game. So I'll keep the rest of my opinions and what I want to say behind closed doors for now. But it's going to get interesting as this game gets closer.
Oh, it is, no doubt. And I have plenty more for when the game gets here. Don't worry about that. And as far as – I know he was joking because he just threw that in the chat. But as far as Master of Dreams saying I'm an evil person for talking about a dead guy, well, people still talk shit about Dahmer, Gacy, and Bundy, too.
Yeah, that's
true.
Yeah.
They're all dead. And guess what? Right now I'm putting Aaron Hernandez right up there with them. I mean, if he starts fucking the corpses, then he's Dahmer. If he starts eating them, he's Gacy. Come on, y'all. Let's keep things in perspective.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't want people to think that I'm not down to trash talk with them. I've got a few things that I've got planned that's really gonna call out some Gator fans and things that I have coming up over the next few months. So I'm kind of just keeping that on the DL on the down low for now that I've got coming out soon. That's really gonna kind of agitate them and bring them out a little bit. So it's gonna be good times. It's gonna be good times.
Now, I will give it to him. He did bring up the fact that Flippy was booed out of the swamp like 3 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, all of a sudden, y'all forgive him now just because y'all are playing Miami. I mean, they were still talking crap about him after the Michigan game, and they won that one.
Yeah.
For a change.
By a pretty good margin.
Yeah. But, to steal a quote from Uncle Lou, you're talking about a team that could care less about being there.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to deny. That's true.
I mean, Savannah State would have beat that Michigan team at that point. I mean, you got to feel bad for some Michigan fans. There's one, Mark Dudley's always in Alonzo's chat. I think I've
Mark
seen
Dudley.
him here.
Mark Dudley, yep.
You got to feel bad for them. You really do. I mean, it just looked like everything was going to fall in place for Michigan this year. And then Ohio State takes a dump on them. I mean, just shits right in their helmets.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Mark Dudley to start that channel that Alonzo's always trying to get him to start for Michigan.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see somebody start a Florida State and a Gators channel so they can get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think there is one guy
let's be honest.
does...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think there's one guy that does a Gators channel. I can't think of his name at the moment. Maybe somebody can fill me in. There's a guy that does Gators live streams and call-ins and stuff, but I can't think of his name at the moment. We'll see if we can get him on the show at some point, maybe. But he's got quite a bit of subscribers. I think he's got like 3,000, 4,000 subs, something like that. But that's the only one that I know of. I don't think there's anybody else. I definitely don't know of an FSU one.
Was that window-looking retard that you showed a video of a week or so ago?
No. That guy's actually a famous comedian, apparently.
Well, from the looks of it, he's famous for licking windows. Windex is not good for you, sir.
Let me see if I can find that guy's name. See if you've heard of him. See if anybody's heard of him. People are telling me Gator Dave. Maybe that's his name. Gator's Breakdown. Yeah, Gator's Breakdown.
Okay. I appreciate that. It's some way for me to go fuck with.
Yeah, let me see. Let me show everybody in chat here. I've got it pulled up. This guy does all Florida Gators content. He's got almost 3,000 subs. Looks like he does, full spring scrimmage breakdowns. I'm curious to see if Master of Dreams and K-Sauce know about him. But yeah, Gators Breakdown is the name of the channel. Gator Breakdown. Okay, he told me.
Yeah, so does Master of Dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, there's at least one Gators fan that's brave enough to post videos on YouTube. So we'll see. We'll see maybe if we can get on his show or get him over here or something at some point.
Oh, that should be interesting. And one more thing, maybe some of these Florida fans can help me with this. I've been trying to figure it out. For some reason, Florida's this great program and just this perennial powerhouse going to stomp a mud hole in us. Better than us in every category for going back 1,000 years. Who's got more national titles? I'm a little confused.
I'm like I said, I'm just reading the chat.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Well, maybe you can help me because I haven't been in high school in a while. My math's a little rusty. Which one's a bigger number, 3 or 5?
Let me hold up. Let me Google it. Just to see. Which is bigger? Wait, which is a bigger number? 3.
Hey, Master of Dreams, your
4,
3 aren't helping you in 2019 either.
5. Looks like 5 as far as I can tell. That's what Google tells me.
Okay. Well, I'll believe Google. I
just wanted to verify. just to make sure.
Okay. And I'd forgotten about one thing because you had said something earlier. Florida's all up in arms, all hyped over Dan Mullen being there. You know, his first year.
This dude goes and approaches recruits by. Did you see? Was it Dan Mullen that landed on that high school field in a helicopter to offer that recruit not too long ago?
Oh yeah, he did that Nick Saban impersonation.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's going to be doing the sleepovers like Jim Harbaugh, and it's going to evolve from there, and he's the next Jerry Sandusky. God help us. But to my point, wasn't this his first year there this past season?
Who, Dan Mullen?
Yeah.
Was it his first or was it his second?
I'm trying to figure out, was that his first or his second year? I'm thinking it was his first.
Which they honestly could probably tell us. I'm waiting to see if they. I'm trying to look to see. So.
Somebody said 10. Okay, it's his first year.
First year as head coach at Florida. Yep.
Okay. Jim McElwain's first year, I think they won 9 or 10 games. What did they do after that? I think Florida's stuck on repeat. I think Florida's in for another 4-8 season.
We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. That's for sure. You know I always appreciate when you call in, my man.
I had to do something. I had to do something about the CNN fake news. I couldn't stand it.
Like I said, I'm cool with it. Trust me. Like I said, everybody can bring their trash talk on both sides. That's why I let the Gators fans, I offer to let them call in if they want to. Like I said, I'm over here with my mouth zipped up because I have some big things planned that I want to do and stuff. But I appreciate you calling in. I'm honestly probably going to wrap it up because I'm going on about 2 hours and 10 minutes or so streaming. But
I'm just getting in from Pennsylvania myself.
I appreciate the banter back and forth. It's always entertaining. Like I said, trash talk is part of college football. It does make it fun. Both sides are going to throw blows and jabs at each other, and it's just part of it. So.
But and to show I'm not a bad sport, to show this is all in good intention, in my parting farewell, I do think this year Florida is going to snap their losing streak to Kentucky. I'm rooting for you. I am. I'm rooting for you.
On that note, I'll let you go, man. That way you can see the responses in chat here.
Yes, sir. I've been sitting here following it, but y'all have a good night.
I appreciate you calling in, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good night.
All right, you too.
He's always cracking me up, man. There'll be some trash talk videos, and like I said, I'm actually gonna shut the phone line off for now. I'm sorry if I didn't get your call in. We're going on about 2 hours and 11 minutes. It's getting late. I know people are going to bed. But it was a fun stream. And like I said, I give credit where credit is due, respect and props to Master of Dreams and K-Sauce. K-Sauce with a ton of donations tonight, and Master of Dreams sticking it out even through the trash talk and hanging out. And I think there was one more Gator fan. You can raise your hand in chat if you're a Gator fan, because I think there was one more that I might be missing. But respect to you guys for hanging out in a Miami Hurricanes stream. And like I said, you guys, a lot of people like to, Tim. Hey, props to you, bro, for hanging out. A lot of people love dishing it, but they sure as heck can't take it. They get butthurt when they try to take it. So I appreciate it. It's getting late for me. I'm not even going to lie, guys. I'm getting old, 11, 15, I'm getting up there, 29 years old. So I'm going to hit the hay. I enjoyed the stream tonight, guys. Again, if you got here a little late, feel free to go back and look at the stats from the scrimmage. We talked about those, injury report, and QB battle, all that good stuff. Appreciate all the new subs tonight. All of the donations. We had a lot of new subs, first-time donators and stuff. We had a lot of OGs stopping in the chat and some new people. So I appreciate all you guys. I'm pumped that we've got everything fixed, guys. So prepare. Slim Shady says, "Sight, go Wildcats." Cracking me up, man. I'm glad you made it back safely from your trip from Pennsylvania, Slim Shady. Glad you made it back, bro. So I love my college football family, my Miami Hurricanes family. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. And a couple of Gator fans, as I just said, K-Sauce, Tim Burrell, or Burrell. Thank you for the subs. Welcome to the college football family. I won't say welcome to the Miami Hurricanes family because I know you guys are Gators fans. But welcome to the college football family. One of the sayings we have around here, if you're new, I'll end on this. We're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I got to say it's always better when you get to rep the U. And that's one of the things we say around here. But I do mean it when I say we're all one big happy college football family. If every fan in the country, in the world, only liked Miami, the sport would be pretty boring. Let's just be real. So appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. Big videos coming over these next few months. So Gator fans, you want to stay tuned because I've got some controversial videos that are going to be coming out, and you guys are going to want to rep your team and back them up whenever I post these videos. So I'll see you guys probably Monday. Probably not a live stream, but I've got a video coming up. So I'll see you guys there for that. Hey guys, go Canes. Appreciate the love tonight. Had a blast. Thank you for the callers. I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys.